Dear brothers and sisters, the viewers of CYC, welcoming you back to another episode of Healthy Family. This is a course in Christian parenting. We started that a while back, and we started with the pregnancy period and then the infancy period in the childhood, age birth till 2 years. We also finished the following phase, age 3 to 5 or 6. And today we are going to finish, God willing, the elementary school phase, which we call the quiescent adolescence or the quiescent teenage period from age 6 to about 11 years. Last episode we covered different growth areas, and today we are going to finish the growth areas with the spiritual growth. What happens during this phase for boys and girls in the spiritual area? So we find that they like to discuss spiritual issues in a tangible manner, meaning they like to understand the liturgy and why does Abuna do that and why the deacons say that at that time, and what does the censor, the Sharia, what does it mean, and al-Bukhur in the church, and why does Abuna go outside and rotate in the church. And the symbolism is of special interest for them. Also, they have many questions about God. And does God sleep? And if he doesn't sleep, does he get tired? And if he doesn't ever sleep, does his eyes are red all the time from lack of sleep? And some philosophical, theological questions, sometimes they are difficult to answer. Because their mental capacity does not understand that God is a spirit and he does not need to sleep to start with. But they have many discussions, and they like to discuss it in a tangible way. Also, they focus on the rituals. And as we said, why the ritual is like that. And when I pray, do I pray to the east, to the west, or the north, or the south? And they become very curious about the rituals and the traditions of the church. And that's a healthy curiosity, and we should answer them, and we should respond to their questions. Also, they like God and the religion for self-benefit. Not that they are defective human beings or selfish, but that's normal for this developmental phase. Meaning, they like God, and they like to go to church because they have an exam next week. They like to say their prayers before they sleep because they're afraid if they don't, God might strike their parents with a sickness, or God forbid cancer or an accident. So although it is not a healthy, mature spiritual understanding, but it coincides with their mentality at that time. So if the child is thinking like that, that doesn't disturb us, because that will change once the child becomes mature. Also, in the spiritual area, the children, they like to congregate with the same sex. So the boys, they like to play and socialize with boys, and on the opposite hand, girls, they like to socialize and congregate with girls, and sometimes they spend the time talking about how bad the other sex is, and that's normal for that phase. We don't want to go into details, graphic details, about what each sex is saying about the other. We leave that for another episode. In the 2 Timothy 1:5, St. Paul was talking about Timothy and how he comes from a Christian family, from his grandma who gave the faith to his mother, who gave the faith to Timothy, who became a bishop. And we like to end our program today to talk about what can we do as parents and as Sunday school servants for this age group. We have about 5 or 6 points. Number 1, to provide a good role model. If you have been with us for a while and they have been seeing the program all along, last time we spoke about the super ego. The super ego is the internal judge that tells the person what to do that or not to do that. And the super ego can be formed in a healthy way, since this is healthy family program, if we have good role models around us as children. Number 2, develop and enrich his or her talents. If I see a talent in my child, I should support it. I should enrich it. This is why we have in the United States and in the Western society the expression, she is a soccer mom. Meaning what? She drives the children to the soccer game, bring them from the soccer game, provide them with drinks and sandwiches and uniform for soccer, and that means she is a good mother. It is not a profession to be a soccer mom, but that tells us she is a mother who is invested in her children. Another thing we can do is to create spiritual habits, meaning in the family, it will be helpful for the child to understand we take dinner together, we eat dinner together. Before dinner, we pray together. Sometimes we pray before we go to bed. We go to the liturgy and to communion as a family. Also, sometimes there are biblical discussion, very simple, short, sweet, to the point. If the child is of younger generation, it is okay to use a Bible with photos or pictures, and it is okay to draw in the Bible and color the picture and even shachbat in the Bible. That doesn't mean God is going to be angry at us, but that means I am making the experience interesting. Another point is the sexual education. And the sexual education does not mean the sexual education we have in the school, because the sexual education is a broad, big topic, but to summarize it, because our programs are short and to the point, if the child asks me about question about the sexual differences, I should answer it. I shouldn't tremble or stumble or stutter or feel flushed or feel ashamed. And as we said before, I say it in a medical terminology. I don't have to have superstition in it and lies in it, because he will lose trust in me if I give him the wrong information. Should connect sexuality to love, to marriage, to God. We have 2 more points about what to do to this age. I should understand also technology is a double-edged weapon. It has benefits and has minuses. It is not good or healthy for Christian families to buy the children anything they want. Any gadget, any games, all the iPhone and the iPad, we get it to them. That's not good. We have to use discernment, and things they have to earn it. But to give them all what they want, that does not build a healthy personality. And the last point, I will leave you, my brothers and sisters, with a rule. And the rule is saying, orders plus instructions minus bond equals rebellion. Let me summarize that. If you are a father or mother or a Sunday school teacher, you just give orders all the time. Do and don't. You're telling the child. Do and don't. Do and don't. You should and you shouldn't. You should do that and you shouldn't do that. But you have no bond. You have no relationship with the child. The child will end up rebelling. And rebelliousness will manifest itself in the next phase, the teenage period. So till we discuss it, till next time, I will leave you in the hands of God, and please pray for the program.